And by good water, we mean first of all natural water, water from natural springs, water that have a low level of contaminations, that have appropriate level of different minerals and substances. People having good food, again natural food, they have much higher health quality compared with people who use conventional food or just artificial water.
So when you come to America and you do these kinds of events where you have to be in a city for a few days at a time, what do you notice the primary difference between food from your garden in Russia compared to here?
Not only my garden. In Russia we have very good food and very good tradition of food. And people really care preparing food. In the United States, it's a fantastic country, it's a great country, and this country was great in developing different technologies. So it was first technology in car making, then technology in electronics, and technology in aviations. So every technology was designed to the best and the highest level. Same was done in food production. So it was designed as technology. And it was huge factories, and it is huge factories. They are producing meat, chicken, vegetables, fruits. So it's designed like factories with very high effectiveness. And it was an interesting idea, but then it was found that this idea doesn't work for people.
No.
Because, first of all, in this production it's necessary to use a lot of chemicals. Because to keep, for example, 1,000 of chicken together in one little place, relatively little, you need to use antibiotics, you need to use a lot of different chemicals, medications, and of course a lot of drugs to let them grow. So,
hormones.
Hormones, absolutely. And then it all comes to people. And it all is kept in people's body.
I think this is one thing that is just becoming better understood now, which is the passed on effect of these antibiotics, and also the hormones are changing the maturation rate of the people in this country.
Absolutely.
It's been bumped up, what, 1.5 years, 2 years, the rate of maturity, because of these effects, right? Aside from the fact that 25% of all antibiotics don't even work anymore. So,
sure.
Not good.
Absolutely. It's a very bad situation, because we need antibiotics in our life. We need it. And it was fantastic achievement of humankind to develop antibiotics. But when they are used on every step, of course, they lose their effectiveness. And we have a lot more and more microcultures that are resistant to antibiotics.
Right.
So they need to develop more and more strong antibiotics.
Right.
And of course, any antibiotic has tremendous side effects. They tremendously destroy all microflora in our stomach, in our colons. And people have to restore it later on.
This is a big problem.
That's a tremendous problem.
Well, and passed on, even drugs such as Prozac.
Of course it has
I mean, in the water supplies, city municipal water supplies, there are still signatures from that drug in the drinking water that are not purified out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it is really a tremendous problem of using medications when they are not really necessary.
Right.
Without any understanding what would be the long-range effects.
Right.
Mostly for children.
Yes.
Because children, they grow up, their organisms are very subtle, and when they use medications to control their growth, to control their behavior, it is dreadful. It's a crime.
It is a crime. I couldn't agree with you more. And the lack of education, because this is the way, this is how we are educated, that these foods, this mass culture of these factory foods are the culture. It's counterculture to find sources that are organic until now. Now it's becoming more popular. Some movie stars have gotten on board. It kind of takes a movie star to make something popular.
Yes. And you see, the example of United States, really it is a bad example for all the world.
Yeah.
Because it's the most rich country in the world. It's the most developed country in the world. Country where you can find everything if you want. but in the country where the health of the population is quite bad.
No, we're starving to death for real nutrients. As we get fatter and fatter, we are starving to death.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
And so this goes with our, I'd like to go back to water for just a moment. You were talking about natural spring water, which of course very few, a very small percentage of the population would actually have access to. But what about some of the technologies, Patrick Flanagan's work and others, where they use elements, megahydrin and such, that structures water? Are these beneficial if you're trying to restore some energy to the water?
Tremendous beneficial.
Okay.
And of course, you're correct that to use spring natural water, it's difficult. But anyway, you can find it in stores.
Yes.
You can find on one shelf. It will be good water prepared with good minerals. And understand that it's distilled and then some minerals added. So it is absolutely dead water.
Dead water.
And then you can find practically same price water from natural springs.
And I've heard you, but I heard you also mention the fact that water, the movement of water is what helps structure water. So in some cultures they actually observe a practice of pouring.
Yes,
the pouring of the water before drinking is very important. Can you talk about that from a scientific viewpoint? These are not just old wives' tales.
Yeah, so when we apply strong movement to water, we dissolve water molecules.
Yes.
And they create active radicals. Those radicals, they exist for billions fractures per second. But it's enough to combine different structure in water. And most of the structure comes due to some minerals that are kept in water, because practically pure water doesn't exist at all. It's just mathematical model. So we all have some impurities in water, but it's normal. And then they create clusters around those atoms and molecules. And these clusters, they have a structure of a particular mineral or particular crystal, so they make water crystallized. And after this, water is much more structured.
And why is it important to have structured water?
Because our blood, it is a structured liquid. Our inner liquids in our stomach, it's all structured liquids. It's very easy to show. Please put a drop of blood on the glass, and you will see in several seconds it will be structured. Because, and even if you dilute it, you will see some structure.
Now, distilled water, though, you take water and you distill it, no structure?
No structure, absolutely.
No structure.
Because it is absolutely chaotic process.
Yes.
So, the devices that structure water, they are very useful, but we need to take into account two topics. First of all, water should be pure. It shouldn't contain negative contaminations.
Arsenic, chlorine.
Arsenic, chlorine, then iron, then mercury. So a lot of waters from commercially available sources, they have these impurities. So what is recommended? Because it's due to pipes. We have so many pipes and it's understandable. So what is the first step should be? To use normal filters.
Normal filters?
Yes, normal filtering system. And typically it's several stages of filtering.
Right. But reverse osmosis, is that okay?
We don't need reverse osmosis.
Okay.
We need just normal filtering.
You mean like charcoal, or what do you mean by
typically
normal?
it comes, the first stage comes in paper filter. It filters out main impurities, big impurities. Then it is coal filter. Then it's microfiber filter.
Okay.
We don't need reverse osmosis.
Okay.
Because it changes structure. Filtering, it keeps the structure.
Okay.
And coal, it makes it even more structured. Then it makes sense to use some energizing device that make a structure to water, like Flanagan's, like GA water, like something. Now there are a lot of devices of this kind available. Of course, they should be tested, but some of them are very effective. Then you have really good water, even from tap source in any city.
And this is really a foundational key to energizing our bodies again.
Yes, yes, that is the key principle and key element.
Okay, so we've talked about food. You don't want food that's basically grown factory style and dead. You want organic food grown from land that's been treated properly and vitalized. Right?
Yes, of course. But the first thing what I do coming to any market or any store, I just smell the food.
You smell it, yes.
Yes.
Most of it has no smell in the grocery
Yes.
store. In the,
So
in the
if it is
supermarket.
no smell, then it is synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
If it has some smell, then it has something to the earth.
Yes.
It may be not even organically grown. It may have some fertilizers, but anyway, if it has smell, it means that it has something from the